be different from a normal video by Down in the Depths, but hope you enjoy it. I'm nervous about this one. I edit a bit here. I was just listening back to all of the clips, and I pronounce things horrifically wrong. I just want to apologise for that in advance. I'm a philosophy student first and foremost, and then a classics student, so cut me some slack, please. Welcome, Demigods and Mortals, to a deep dive into Disney's most iconic animated film, Hercules. Released in 1997, Disney's Hercules burst onto the scene with its catchy songs, vibrant animation, Danny DeVito?
Look at me! I'm human!
And a charming, albeit somewhat clumsy hero. For many children, this is their first introduction to the world of Greek mythology, painting a picture of gods, monsters, and a hero striving for self-worth. But how much of what we saw on screen truly reflects the ancient myths, and what can this film teach us about heroism, self-worth, and evolving nature of storytelling? Today we're going to embark on an epic journey. Epic. Because we'll compare Disney's portrayal of Hercules with the original classic myth of Heracles, exploring where the film took creative liberties and where it surprisingly hits close to home. We'll dissect the character differences between the animated hero and the complex, often tragic, figure of the myth. We'll also delve into the profound messages that Disney's Hercules conveys to young audiences about heroism and strength and kindness, contrasting them with the darker, more morally ambiguous themes of the ancient myths, such as infidelity, the wrath of the gods, and Heracles' significant flaws. Finally, I'll discuss the vast differences in audiences between the film and the myths, and how our understanding of childhood and storytelling has transformed over millennia. So, chuck on your favourite toga, grab your ambrosia, sit back, relax, and let's journey to Mount Olympus and beyond. From the moment that the muses belt out gospel truth, Disney sets the stage for a grand, albeit heavily sanitised interpretation of the Heracles myth. The film presents Hercules as the beloved son of Zeus and Hera, kidnapped as an infant by Hades and turned mortal, only to discover his divine heritage and embark on a quest to become a true hero and reclaim his place on Olympus. This narrative arc is a classic hero's journey, designed for maximum audience engagement and emotional resonance. However, the original classical myth of Heracles is far more complex and an often brutal tale. Let's break down some of the most significant discrepancies. Parents and birth. In Disney, Hercules is the joyous son of Zeus and Hera, born amidst celebration on Mount Olympus. Hera is portrayed as a loving mother and proud of her son. In the myth, however, Heracles' birth is steeped in scandal and divine wrath. He is the son of Zeus and a mortal woman whom Zeus seduced by impersonating her husband. Hera, Zeus's perpetually jealous wife, absolutely despises Heracles from birth and actively seeks to destroy him throughout his life. She is his relentless tormentor, not his doting mother. This fundamental difference alone reshapes the entire narrative and emotional core of the story. Imagine Disney's film with Hera as the primary antagonist from the get-go. Speaking of the antagonist, in Disney's version, Hades, the sarcastic, hot-headed lord of the underworld, is the primary villain, scheming to overthrow Zeus and take control over Olympus. He wants Hercules out of the way because he's prophesied to foil his plans. In the myth, while Hades exists, he is not Heracles' arch-nemesis. As mentioned, Hera is the most significant and consistent antagonist in Heracles' life, orchestrating many of his trials and tribulations. The monsters that Heracles fights, like the Hydra or the Nemean lion, are often sent by Hera or are simply threats he encounters in his labours.
What in the name of mighty Hercules is this?
The concept of Hades actively trying to prevent Heracles from becoming a god is purely a Disney invention, designed to create a clear-cut villain for a family audience. Speaking of the labours, in Disney's version, Hercules undertakes a series of heroic deeds, fighting monsters and performing acts of strength, with the explicit goal of proving himself a true hero to return to Olympus. These are largely self-imposed challenges, or tasks assigned by Philoctetes. In the myth, however, the famous 12 labours of Heracles are not undertaken voluntarily or for the sake of becoming a god. They are penance. In a fit of madness induced by Hera, Heracles murders his first wife and their children. To atone for this horrific act, the Oracle of Delphi instructs him to serve King Eurystheus. In the Disney version, Hercules learns that true heroism isn't about strength or fame, but about self-sacrifice and acting with a good heart. He proves himself a true hero by willingly sacrificing his immortality to save Meg, demonstrating selfless love. Heracles' heroism is primarily defined by his immense strength, courage, and ability to overcome impossible obstacles. His divinity is eventually granted after his death, apotheosis, as a reward for his deeds, not as a choice he makes for love. While he performs incredible feats, the idea of selfless love as the ultimate heroic act is a modern Disney-filled concept. I mean, is there such a thing as a selfless act? This is a classics video, not a philosophy video, Pip. Now let's do a character deep dive into the actual differences between the characters themselves. The differences between Disney's Hercules and the actual Heracles. Beyond the plot points, the very essence of the characters differ vastly between the film and the myths. Disney's Hercules is the quintessential underdog. He's initially awkward, clumsy, and struggles with his immense strength. His primary motivation is to find where he belongs, to prove his worth, and to be accepted by his parents and the world. He's earnest, he's good-hearted, he's somewhat naive. His journey is one of self-discovery, learning that the true strength lies not in physical prowess, but in compassion, self-sacrifice, and kindness. He represents innocence and naivety. He sees the world in a relatively black and white terms, initially believing that doing good deeds will automatically grant him a place amongst the gods. His core struggle is a universal human desire to find his place and gain acceptance. Despite his physical strength, his moral compass guides his actions, leading him to choose selflessness over personal gain. While not truly needing redemption for past sins, his arc involves learning and growing from a bumbling strongman to a true noble hero, and a focus on inner strength. The film beautifully articulates that his greatest strength isn't his muscles, but his heart. Now, the classical Heracles. The mythological Heracles is far more complex, often contradictory, and deeply flawed figure. He embodies both immense strength and tragic vulnerability, godlike power, and very human failings. Heracles is renowned for his unparalleled physical strength, but this often comes hand in hand with an uncontrollable temper and fits of violent rage. Often induced by Hera, this rage leads him to commit terrible acts. His life is marked by profound tragedy, most notably the murder of his first family. This act haunts him and drives his penance. Unlike Disney's hero, Heracles carries immense guilt and suffering, brutality and impulsiveness. He is not always a benevolent figure. He can be brutal, impulsive, and prone to excess. He kills many people, sometimes justifiably, sometimes in moments of uncontrolled fury. Heracles is known for his numerous romantic and sexual encounters, both with mortals and goddesses. He has many wives and countless children with various women, reflecting the different societal norms in the ancient world. This is a stark contrast to Disney's monogamous, idealized romance with Meg. At times, Heracles displays a certain degree of hubris, believing his strength makes him invincible, which can lead to further complications and suffering. And a symbol of his endurance. Despite his flaws, he is ultimately a symbol of endurance, overcoming incredible obstacles and suffering to achieve divinity. His apotheosis is a testament to his sheer will and power. The stark contrast is clear. Disney created a hero suitable for children, a beacon of virtue and self-improvement. The ancient Greeks conceived a hero who was larger than life, yes, but also deeply flawed, relatable in his struggles with rage and desire, and ultimately a tragic figure whose greatness was often intertwined with his personal suffering. Disney's Hercules, despite its mythological inaccuracies, delivers powerful and enduring messages that resonate deeply with modern audiences, particularly children. Heroism defined by heart, not brawn. This is perhaps the most central message of the film. Hercules spends much of his life believing that to be a hero means having super strength, defeating monsters, and achieving fame. He yearns for glory and public adoration. However, his journey with Meg teaches him that true heroism is about self-sacrifice, compassion, and using one's strength to protect others, even if it means giving up everything.
People always do crazy things when they're in love.
When he sacrifices his potential immortality to save Meg from the river Styx, he exemplifies true heroism. This meaning is vital for children, teaching them that character and kindness are more important than physical power or celebrity. Hercules' initial struggle is a quest for identity and belonging. He feels like an outcast among mortals due to his immense strength and clumsiness. His drive to become a god is rooted in his desire to go home and find his place. The film beautifully illustrates that self-worth comes from within, from understanding who you are and what you stand for, rather than from external validation or achievements. Ultimately, he chooses to stay on Earth with Meg, having found his true home and purpose in love and human connection, demonstrating that belonging isn't necessarily a physical place, but a state of mind and heart. Disney's Hercules consistently uses his strength for good. He saves people, helps the vulnerable, and stands up to evil. His kindness is a defining trait, setting him apart from the more aggressive and morally ambiguous heroes of older myths. The film subtly teaches that immense power, when coupled with a good heart and kindness, can be a force for immense positive change. This emphasises a more empathetic and altruistic form of heroism. The themes in the classical Heracles myths are more mature, often darker, and reflect a different set of social values and philosophical concerns. Zeus's infidelity is a constant source of strife and tragedy in the myths, directly leading to Hera's wrath and Heracles' suffering. This theme explores the repercussions of divine and human transgressions. The Greek gods are not benevolent guardians. They are powerful, often petty, and capable of immense cruelty and vengeance. Hera's relentless persecution of Hercules is a prime example. This highlights the capricious nature of fate and limited agency of mortals in the face of divine power. The myths unflinchingly portray Heracles' struggle with rage, impulsiveness, and his destructive potential. His murder of his family is a profound exploration of human fallibility, the darkness within even the greatest heroes, and the heavy burden of immense power. It also delves into themes of penance, atonement, and the struggle for redemption after horrific acts. The prophecies surrounding Heracles and the interventions of the gods often raise questions about the extent to which individuals can truly control their destiny. Personally, I don't believe in free will, but again, this is not a philosophy video. Heracles' journey is one of immense suffering and labour, through which he ultimately achieves glory and divinity. The myths suggest that true glory often comes at a high personal cost. While Disney focuses on positive virtues like love and self-sacrifice, the myths delve into the raw, often uncontrollable realities of human nature, divine power, and the tragic elements inherent in even the most epic lives. Perhaps one of the most significant reasons for Disney's drastic alterations to the Heracles myth lies in the vastly different audiences they were trying to reach. The myths of Heracles were not primarily children's stories in the modern sense. They were oral traditions, passed down through generations, recited by bards and performed in plays. They were educational and moral tales. While entertaining, they served to transmit cultural values, explain the natural world, and explore complex moral dilemmas. They taught about the consequences of hubris, the nature of heroism, even flawed heroism, and the power of the gods. While children would have heard them, they were designed for an adult audience capable of grappling with themes of violence, infidelity, patricide, infanticide, and often harsh realities of life and divine intervention. They were reflectors of society. The gods' behaviours, their jealousies, infidelities, and wars, mirrored aspects of human society, providing a framework for understanding human nature and societal norms. Modern Western society, particularly in the context of children's entertainment, has a very different understanding of what is appropriate for young audiences. There is a strong emphasis on protecting children from overtly violent, sexual, or morally ambiguous content. Children's stories are often expected to provide clear, positive moral lessons about right and wrong, kindness, perseverance, and the importance of family and friendship. Disney's films in particular aim to provide an escapist, magical experience, often with a happily ever after ending. It's market-driven. Children's media is a massive industry, and stories are crafted to appeal to a broad demographic, ensuring parental approval and commercial success. Given these modern sensibilities, it's easy to see why Disney transformed the Heracles myth. The infanticide, the constant divine torment of Hera, the numerous affairs, and the overall moral ambiguity of the original hero would be completely unsuitable for a typical Disney animated film aimed at a global family audience. Disney's Hercules strips away from the darker elements, simplifies the motivations, and focuses on universal themes of striving for acceptance. finding love and defining one's own heroism. It reflects a shift in what we expect from our heroes. Less about brutal strength and more about inner goodness and self-sacrifice. It also reflects a desire to present a world where good triumphs unequivocally, and where love conquers all. A stark contrast to the often tragic and fatalistic worldview of ancient Greece. So what can we take away from this journey through Disney's Hercules and the classical myth of Heracles? Disney's Hercules is a masterclass in adaptation. It takes the skeleton of a powerful ancient myth and reimagines it for a new generation, imbuing it with contemporary values and a distinctly American sensibility. While it gets many of the facts wrong from a mythological perspective, it succeeds in creating a compelling, entertaining, and morally uplifting story that has resonated with millions. It teaches children that true strength comes from the heart, that love is a powerful force, and that anyone can be a hero through kindness and self-sacrifice. So that's the end of the video here. This is actually a project for my university course, but if you want to see other videos like this, if you like this kind of video essay format, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys! We'll dissect the characters' differences from being an anime. We'll dissect the.
Are you always this articulate?
Because he's prophesized. He wants Hercules out of the way because he is Lot to tease. I can't remember where I was. Okay.